going to play round 2 here as soon as Vinny G accepts the offer to play. This is round 2 of a Slamato event. There we go. Now we play the chess opening for you, and just avoid all of this junk that people play. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to play e4 here instead of c4. I don't want to play c4. I want to play e4. Okay, fine. Now we just continue. He's copying me. That's fine. Next I play c3. Okay. Future target a4, but it'll never happen. I won't let it. I'll be playing. Okay, go ahead. Trade my crummy bishop off, please. Thank you. Okay, queen c2. Some people will play rook e1 and then drop the bishop back to h1. I think that's kind of a waste of time. Just let them come down and take. Okay, now I can play knight c4 at some point and happily accept if he takes it with his bishop, but I don't want to do it here because he has b5, although I can then play knight e3, but I'm going to play a4 here because it's in the spirit of this opening. Okay, and it safeguards the a pawn because later it could come under attack. Now I don't mind if he takes on c4. I really don't. Okay, so he's going to go that way. That's fine. Okay, how do I want to play this? How about if, let's see. I could play knight e3 here and then knight g5 and play for, well, I don't want to play for f4 right away, but I got to get the rest of my pieces out. So where do I want the bishop? Okay, knight e3, he develops a rook, I play knight g5, and I'm going to basically force the win of that trade of that. He might get an open f-file out of the deal. He'll take away d5 from my knight, though. My knight's kind of misplaced on e3. So, let's see. If I play bishop e3, he could do knight g5. G4 rather. So let's see. Suppose I play. I'm just going to play bishop d2 and keep the piece back and out of the way. Although if he takes on, okay, thank you. He played what I want him to play. All right. So now we redeploy things. The knight goes to e3, and we let him take on g2. I'll just pre-move in case he does take. Okay, I've used 2 minutes more, nearly 2 minutes more, a minute and a half to 2 minutes. So I definitely got to speed things up a little bit. Okay, so he's planning f5. Well, I'm not too worried about f5. I can do some tricks to him. I can play knight g5 and force the trade, and then if he plays f5, I can check on b3 with the queen. He goes to h8. And I can do some nasty things to him. I don't have a knight fork on there, but I can mess up his pawn structure and weaken the knight on h5. Okay. He's also given me knight d5 at some point, which may come in handy. Okay, knight g5 takes f5. If I take with the pawn, I've activated my bishop. Yeah, that's good. This is good for me. Knight g5. Okay, knight g5. And I'll pre-move again if he takes. He did. Okay, thank you. Now, f5 is probably a positional error for him. Of course, now I don't have my bishop It doesn't open the diagonal for my bishop anymore, but I don't need it. He might play h6 with it. That kind of weakens some of his pawns too. But with my knight on e3, I force him to take back with a pawn on f5. So he could play knight e7 in this position, in which case I might even go ahead what would I go ahead with? But that knight on e3 is versatile. It's okay, good, thank you. He played what I want him to play. So now, as I say, I can take there on f5 and make him unprotect his knight. So that's what I did, and I'm saving the check on b3. It's still there, it's not going anywhere. I could play queen d1 here, and then if knight f6, then queen b3 check. He doesn't have, he has d5 now. So queen b3 check, king h8. Is he threatening f4? That's a good point. Is he threatening f4? I'm not too worried about that. Of course, I like keeping that knight on e3. It's just such a handy piece. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play for the ending. I'm going to play queen b3 check, king h8, queen e6, and offer a queen trade. And when he takes, I pick up the bishop, because my knight will be on e6. Okay, so just queen b3 check. I'm going to stop his attack before it gets started. Okay, now I've used nearly 3 minutes more than he has, but I've achieved quite a lot here. His knight on c6 doesn't really have a lot of useful squares to go to. Oh, he played there. Well, gee, that just loses. He must have saw something he didn't think. Okay, I just win the exchange, don't I? Check. Okay, now f5 is hanging, so I get a pawn out of it too. Wow, it's a shame. Okay, so what does he do? I'm going to chop off his bishop next. Oh, it's such a nice knight. He doesn't want me to take his bishop. Okay, that's fine. I don't want to take it. If I play f4, he ends up getting a knight into e5 in the long run. How about if I just develop a rook? Put a rook on e1. There's no need to rush. I don't have to break the position open just yet. Now he's not really threatening on f4 at all. So I'll open up the file now. f4 takes, or take with the bishop, and if he takes with the knight, I take with the rook, and he gets knight d5 in, or e5, and I kick the knight with, oh wait, no, I don't even have to do that. I just won the exchange. Another exchange, check. See, I can't see these things too quick. You get all these things in your mind and then discover something else. Well, thank you for the game, Vinny G. Best of luck to you next time. I'm going to cut this video short. Thank you for your time, and I'll be playing for the first place in a little bit, as soon as the last game's over. Let's see. Well, let's just see who's playing it. I'm going to retreat this and see who it is. Whoops. I want that down to minimized. Bring this up. Minimize it. Oh, I didn't do it. Okay, I got to see who's playing. Start over. Got to learn this. I play Burning Bush. The winner of Burning Bush versus Wild Kingdom. Okay, stopping the video because we don't care about this game, but I'll have the final position up.